Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome to another beer review. So we're beer review number 2, maybe 3, within the quarantine time that we're in right now. So I want to check in. How are you guys handling the situation? How are you guys pulling through? What are your tools that you're using to get through this time? To be honest, I'm really struggling right now. Definitely having a hard time dealing with everything that's going on. My anxiety is definitely through the roof. You know what? I think anxiety will more than likely kill me before the virus does. It's definitely a weird time, and I, for some reason, really struggling with it. But and definitely on Facebook, you're seeing all kinds of posts that really, Anyways, I'm not going to get into it. Some posts are more nerve-wracking than others. And, it just gets my anxiety going. So I try to stay away from Facebook as much as I possibly can. So I don't expect to get very many views on this video if others are practicing what I'm doing, staying away from Facebook. Just listening to what the medical officers and people in healthcare are recommending us to do. And following that to a T. Because they know what they're doing. We do not. We need to listen to what they're saying. They're the educated ones, and we did not go to school for that. Anyways, I did not go to school, so I'm listening to them to a T and practicing all necessary precautions for this time, and hopefully we'll be done and over with all this shenanigans. One day down the road. And, before we get started with this beer review, I want to give a huge shout out. I can't make it big enough for all the frontline workers, all the staff in the hospitals, any emergency medical personnel. I know I'm leaving out a bunch of people. Anybody who's working on the front line, you guys are true heroes. So thank you very much for stepping up and it's unreal the braveness that you all have. Thank you very much, and we stand behind you 100,000%. You guys know what you're doing, and you will keep us safe, and we will do our part and listen to what you say and practice all those new habits, which is now our new normal. And this new normal is bringing all kinds of different things in the world, right? So, and since this is a beer podcast, I'm going to talk about the different stuff that's going on in the beer world. New Brunswick wide. With this coming along, tap rooms are being closed. There's all kinds of different things, like the way that the beer is getting to the consumer has really changed. We're seeing a lot of breweries shipping interprovincially, shipping throughout Canada. I've never seen this before. I know that you guys have never seen it before, and it's really weird. It's different. It's creating a kind of a market that's never been seen before, and is really interesting. There's so much talks about what's going on in the industry, everything that's going on. There's a lot more social media presence of so many breweries that some of them, I was aware of them existing in New Brunswick, but I wasn't seeing them on my newsfeed as often as I should have been seeing them. Such as like Gridiron Brewing. I don't know exactly where they're from, which just shows how much I don't know very much about them, but I'm seeing them on my newsfeed all the time now. Again, I'm going through my seasonal cold right now. That's what it is. So anyway, we have all been through it. My little Sissy went through a bronchitis last week, which was a very, very exciting week. But she pulled through stronger than anything at all. So again, back to the beer. Anyways, so like I said, we're seeing all kinds of stuff. The social media presence of the breweries in New Brunswick have been really through the roof. We're seeing all kinds of things. So just a little cap of what's available and how to get your beer. I'm going to go ahead and say that most breweries in New Brunswick are all doing doorstep delivery. I don't know very many of them who are not doing it. If they're not doing it, they're doing takeout only, or they're doing curbside pickups. And if they're not set up with a store, like for instance, I know Half Cut doesn't have a store, Oak Creek doesn't have a store, Three Flip Brewing doesn't have a store. I have such a hard time saying Three Flip Brewing. I might have to go back to school for that one there. Anyway, so back to that. Those people there that don't have tasting rooms or don't have necessary stores to sell their beer, they have their beer for sale through other channels, either through Drink NB or through other breweries, such as Oak Creek has their beer, their Route 117. I still don't have a can yet. One day I will have a can here in front of me. I cannot fucking wait to get a can of the Route 117 can of his beer. It's going to be absolutely a wonderful beer. I've had it in growlers and off of kegs and taps before many times, and I'm sure that a bunch of you guys have had it as well. And just having it in a can, having the can, there's a nice little backstory on the whole Route 117 in Oak Creek, where it all came from on the can. So they're for sale through Cavalcade. As you've noticed, I've got so much to talk about. Everybody's getting cabin fever. You're in here, I haven't been really practicing much of, connecting with friends. I got my hands full, big time, being a stay-at-home dad now, which happened overnight like that with little baby Cece. So, I'm really keeping busy with her. I'm trying to talk to her about beer as much as I can. She understands some of it. She will be fully educated in what certain styles of beer are by the time she is 3 years old. So anyway, there's all kinds of different avenues to get the beer now, which is truly interesting. It's absolutely wonderful to have all this stuff here available. In the peninsula, Brasse la Côte are doing home deliveries. Way up in Edmundston, we've got Brassard du Petit Saut, who are doing contactless pickup, and they're also doing deliveries. We got Grand Falls Brewing, which is a new company that's opening up pretty soon. They're teasing us with all kinds of new beer that they're gonna be coming out with, which I'm super excited about that, and I'm always excited to try some new beer and new breweries as well. And like I was talking about before, we've got Gridiron Brewing, who is doing some deliveries as well around his location. And we've got the wonderful Adam Clausen from Red Rover Craft Cider, who has set up Drink NB. Check out the website, drinknb.ca. Order all kinds of beer. There's a bunch of breweries that signed up to the service. There's going to be many more. I think Big Axe was just the last one to sign on right now. There's going to be many more signing on as we continue, and as they continue to expand the territory of the deliveries of where they'll be able to deliver their beer. So anyway, it's a great time to be. It's a great time. I'm so used to saying it's a great time. There's so many great things happening right now in the beer industry in New Brunswick. Although we are in a very difficult time, there's so much going on. There's so much communication. I'm talking with so many people. It's as a podcaster, I'm really I'm enjoying this time. Slight bit. There's, like I said before, my anxiety is chewing my insides as we speak. But I'm trying to find light in as many places as possible. And all these things that are coming together with the craft beer market in New Brunswick is really keeping me alive. And we've also got Jill Nadeau from Uncorked Tours, who is doing some virtual tours of either breweries, or I'm sure she'll be doing some wineries as well. And she'll be doing cider tours as well. So definitely awesome stuff going out from Uncork, coming out of Uncorked Tours NB. Make sure to check them out on their Facebook, Instagram, all their socials. If you want to know exactly what's going on with breweries in New Brunswick, check out their social media, Facebook. Just about every brewery in New Brunswick has a Facebook page, and everything is there. All the information you need will be there and available for you. So that was a 10-minute, approximately 10-minute spiel of what's been going on. And I think it's time for a beer. What do you guys think? I want to have a beer. I'm drinking the fridge. There's not much left in there. Someone needs to send me some beer. I want some beer from some of the breweries I haven't tasted yet in New Brunswick. It's I need some beer. I need more beer. I think we all need more beer. It's the only way we're gonna get through this by all sticking together and supporting one another and having a few beer. And this one here is the Patagonia IPA from the one and only Graystone out of Fredericton. And I do believe that Graystone is lined up with Drink and Be for their delivery system. So make sure to head on over there, Drink and Be, and order yourself some Graystone. I really got an itch in my throat. It's driving me bananas. So Graystone, they've got the Patagonia Pale Ale, they got the Patagonia India Session Ale, and they got the Patagonia IPA. I first fell in love with the Patagonia Pale Ale. With the piney resin, it was just strong notes for Pale Ale, and was really nice citrusy punch, and everything about it was really wonderful. This one here, we don't get it very often in Bathurst, but this one here is the Patagonia IPA, ringing it at a whopping 8% ABV for just a standard standalone IPA. 8% ABV. 8% ABV. I would put that as a double IPA personally, but they labeled it as an IPA, so it's definitely packing a punch. This is not your regular IPA. It's not around the 6.5, nor the 7%. It's way up high at the 8% mark. So definitely not for the fan of heart. I wouldn't have, if you're not used to having high alcohol volume beers, don't have 6 of these. You'll be crawling. Which doesn't really matter. You'll be drinking them at home anyway. So we're all in quarantine right now. So let's see the color of this one here. And again, a huge shout out to Jym Line Glassware, who hooked up the show with some amazing glasses. Wonderful, wonderful color here. This is really great. It's nice. It's a darker color, obviously, than the Patagonia Pale Ale, which is to be expected. Stronger beer, a little bit more malt, which it doesn't really matter. It's not, the color doesn't really have anything to do with the ABV, to be quite honest. Nice aromas. You get that you get that same kind of profile from the Patagonia Pale Ale, but everything is just bumped up a notch, and those citrus notes and that piney resin aroma is really coming through. But in the taste, you're definitely going to feel a different mouthfeel. It's going to be a little bit more heavier, a little bit more thicker of a mouthfeel than the Patagonia Pale Ale. Wonderful, wonderful beer. I really like the taste profiles of Graystone for their Patagonia series. I was kind of not all that happy with them keeping the same name for 2 or 3 styles of their beer, but the notes follow through from beer to beer, and it's a series they made, so I find it's great. It fits together. The notes follow through. It's a great beer. Not too much of a bitter finish. I'm finding that you're getting a little bit less of the piney resin notes than the pale ale on this one here. A little bit more of a malty feel to it. Nice citrus notes, but the bitterness does linger on very, very, for quite a long time actually, which is absolutely amazing. I love that from an IPA. Very, very good. As far as it being 8%, you don't really taste it. It's pretty hidden away very well, which I like. It's well done. So, overall, this is a great IPA. I couldn't ask for better beer than that for me tonight. This is absolutely wonderful. So, a big shout out again to Jym Line Glassware for all your glass needs. Right now, if you want to hit them up for any kind of growlers or new containers for what's going on in Nova Scotia right now, you're able to order beer to go with your meals for takeout, which is absolutely wonderful. I hope this happens in New Brunswick very, very soon. Please, 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 Mr. Blaine Higgs, make it happen. Hopefully it will happen very soon. And I might be able to go back to work. Who knows? So, on that note, I want to say cheers, stay safe, and listen to what the professionals are saying. And don't doubt them. They know what they're doing. Cheers. See you next time. And of course, always drink local.